Hello all and welcome to 3rd grade Division 1 rugby here at Success Sporting Complex. It's Wanneroo Districts taking on Nedlands. Wanneroo Districts finishing as minor premiers in the regular season, sitting at first on the ladder and 16 wins and just the one loss. But the team that defeated them, it was Nedlands. They've finished the season 15-3 to sit second on the ladder. As for the sides, Wanneroo Districts are sitting with Tim Larkin in at the 18, Carl Lawson at the 2, Josh Yoda at the 3, Nathan Yoda, one of 2 Yodas out there, you'd think they'd be brothers, in at the 4, Jacob Radcliffe at the 20, Mike Lovey at the 6, Kyle Sear at the 7, Goloth Nikora at the 17, Bryce Watkins, the skipper, in at the 9, in at the 10 you've got Tees Vermack, at the 11 George Leslie, at the 12 Silvo Iro, at the 13 Lee Irwin, at the 14 Claudia De Quinto, at the 15 in that full-back position is Mike Heppy. As for the bench, you've got Shane Ovens in at the 16, Jake Smith in at the 17, Jason Rourke at the 18, and rubbed out just 5 minutes before this broadcast, it was Stephen Kavanagh. He was set to line up in the number 19 Guernsey, but he has been since ruled out. Ian Boffin at the 20, James Uzel at the 21, Neil Sutcliffe at the 22, Carl Cummings at the 23, and the man steering this Wanneroo ship is Paul Arnold. As for Nedlands side, they've got Martin McDermott at the 1, Chris Naylor in at the 2, Glenn Briggs in at the 3, Stephen Booth in at the 4, Trevor Thomas in at the 5, Martin Tutt in at the 24, Dominic Keelan in at the 7, Neil Smith in at the 8, 9 is Alvin Lau, in at the 10 is David Thomas, in at the 11 is a superstar, Keith Henderson, in at the 17 is Samuel Rarisia. In at the 13, we've had a late change. Tane Munga is being included into the side, while Zach Hill, will move to the bench. As for number 14 is Paul Badham. In at the 15 is Daniel Guler, and as for the bench is Timothy Badham, the number 2 Badham out there today. Glenn Williams in at the 18, Matthew Capehorn in at the 19, Elliot Hill, one of 2 Elliot Hills, a couple brothers out there on the field today. In at the 20, James Timoni in at the 21, Dave Gonzalez in at the 23, Luke Doherty at the 16, Caton Tomona at the 24, and the man steering this ship for Nedlands is Paul Arnold. Sorry, we've had a change of coaches there, so we'll look to get that switched up for you by halftime. But big game, Division 1 3rd grade rugby. Last time these 2 teams met, it was Wanneroo defeating them by just 2 points in that first clash, and then they versed again, and it was Nedlands absolutely smashing Wanneroo by 67 points. So that was their only loss for the season, Wanneroo, and so they'll be looking to come out here today and really perform well, because this is the last game of the season. This is the grand final. Both teams will be looking to leave Success with some success. So it's been a bit of a fiery start. Wanneroo with ball in hand early here. Look for plenty of line-outs and scrums. We had plenty in the first game there, which saw the home side, the acting home side in West, get up over the Cavaliers by just 1 solitary point. Wherever you're watching, it's a beautiful day down here at Success Sporting Complex. Absolutely perfect day for rugby, as it looks as though Wanneroo are pushing that line and are on top early. Oh, and he's just fumbled there as the number 2 for Wanneroo and Lawson, so he's lost the handle. And it's a knock-on, so spent that probably a little bit before he had it. Some big units out there. I think, from my perspective, it looks as though Wanneroo have the bigger set of units, so they'll have the ascendancy in the scrums, you'd think, but never underestimate this Nedlands side. First scrum of the game. Referee out there, Ian Sunderland, joined by Tyler Miller and Madeline Putz. There you see the ascendancy by the Wanneroo side. And so they go with a box kick, just to clear some space. And charging through there is that big Wanneroo's player, and he offloads it. Probably didn't need to in the end. It was Larkin with the ball in hand, I believe. fact, it's been kicked out of it again, and the fullback collects it in, I believe it's Heppy. And this will come back, so it's a bit of a kicking game at the moment, and Daniel Guler sees it run out. So it'll come back. So an interesting start to this one. As I said, plenty riding on it. It's the last game of the season for both these sides. And the only side that was able to beat Wanneroo was Nedlands by 67 points, so they'll have a bit of confidence in this. Another good scrum there by Wanneroo, and balled over there was the big number 9. Gee, it was Watkins, the skipper, just thrown to the side. And there is the Nedlands in number 5, Trevor Thomas just picking and going. They've just lost that there, and they're not happy, Nedlands. He just lost the handle, and I believe it was a knock on. Just went forward and was unable to get a handle on it. So we'll go again. Scrum number 3. Slightly better scrum there from Nedlands. And so spread it to this commentary side, and the whistle is blown, and Nedlands are happy with that. Just held it in. You can't do it. Got to get rid of it. So they'll take a line out here. The first of the match. We'll see how this plays out. No, it doesn't. So it was a wayward kick in the end. Dummies goes himself to the outer side, and ducking back in the inside is that number 13, I believe. He's been great. Look at that. He's spun a few times. He's got himself out of jail there. That was impressive by Lee Irwin, I believe it was. Just down, he kept going, and then you thought he was down again, but he just kept going again, and they spread it this wide. It's intercepted, and it was a knock on. But nevertheless, it was Paul Badham, one of 2 Badhams out there today, just getting his hand in there. It was a knock on though. So here we go again. 4th scrum of the match. Expect a bit of this. Oh, look at that. The old man just dummies, goes himself, and did it a few times. The number 10 there for Wanneroo and Burmark. And now it's the 15, the fullback in Heppy. Finds the line, and he's got the first try of the game here. The Dogs are up early. Wanneroo Districts have gotten up, and it's Heppy. But it was all set up by the number 10 in Tees Vermark. Just dummy probably 3 or 4 times, and then finally decided to offload and did so well that it ended up in the hands of Heppy, who found it to the line. And so a conversion to come here. It's that man again, Heppy, that'll take it. So what a fiery start by him. So he just composes himself now, Happy. Bit of wind just coming across him from the left, I say. And no good there. So Happy with the first try, but unable to convert. So as I said, it was just a great play there by the mark. He had some wheels, dummied 3 or 4 times and swung it wider to Happy, who was able to try but unable to convert. And so the Dogs on top early here, and that was Irwin taking the line out, I believe, yep. So the second line out of the game here. And what has been the first 10 minutes just taken by the scruff of the neck by Wanneroo, the minor premiers. Oh, look at that. A great play again by the number 9 in the skipper, and he's gone through and ridden into the back was the Nedlands player, but Watkins was that man. And so taking the line out was Alvin Lau. So a very shaky start from Nedland here. Wanneroo all over him early. And then Maul, they go straight into Maul there, called by Sia. And so they're just getting behind him there. I think they might get it. It's a great Maul. They've lost the ball. They still maintain possession though, the Dogs. And so they go for the pick and roll and getting behind him there. They're in. I think they're in. Maybe not. No, they'll come back for another scrum. So, as I said, the Dogs just all over Nedlands at the moment. Go for the quick roll, but unable to, and taken back there was the number 13 and Irwin. In fact, it wouldn't have been the third. Getting low as that big unit there. Just didn't go through the gate there. You heard it from the ref. So they're going to go for points, I believe. He's fair distance out, maybe 20, 25 metres. Not a huge kick. But nevertheless, they're looking to just get some points on the board early on here, the Dogs. And what's been an impressive display so far. So it's that man, Happy. First one, but this one from just around about the same spot, really. And that one is good. So Happy on fire early here with a try. And extending the lead there by 3 points so far. Mike Heppy. Great start from him. And now it's Nedlands severely on the back foot because they'd have no confidence now. They need to respond. They just haven't had the ball in their hands early. Well, they have a chance here and unable to grab it there was the number 7 in Dominic Colin. Oh, running through there is the boy in number 2 in Lawson for the Dogs. On the ball's just been lost there and the big unit, no. Jason Rook, offside I believe. Taking line out there was Thomas. Oh no, it didn't go through, and geez, that's the second time they've muffed that up. And they've offloaded there, and they'll spread it towards his commentary side. The kick goes up, this might find touch, but running is the fullback for Nedlands. He might be able to find it, maybe not. This is going to be so good if it doesn't, and it doesn't, so it was Bueller finding it. Oh, big tackle, but he ducks in and out of another one. Does it again. Here's the man with the white helmet, can't quite grab his number for that. In fact, it's Bandage. He swung it to the commentary side, dummied. And so they've done really well there, Nedlands. It looked real shaky, and that was Rarisa. Just going down there was Naylor. And the kick, once again, does not find touch, and so the Dogs should clean this up. They do, and a bit messy there. He's just lost his feet there, was number 2, Lawson. But the impressive Heppy kicks that long, and that'll roll gently out, I believe, yes. In fact, no. So that'll come back. Get them behind you. Once again, that goes up. Oh, good take there, gee. I think it was the number 8 there, and Smith just went up and took it himself, and once again they go with the kick, then just not looking to hold on to the ball at the moment. Here's that man, Heppy. Early, he'll kick it back, I believe. No, couldn't. No, still couldn't. Offloads finally, and taken down hard. And they're just going to have a chat here. Listen in.
Seven blue.
So that's
7 blue, please.
Keelan. Dominic Keelan. So just having a chat there, it'll only be a penalty, no card. Naylor, Chris Naylor there, the skipper I believe, just having a chat with the referee in Sunderland about Dominic Keelan's behaviour. So it's just a bit of a lacklustre tackle from Keelan. That saw him land in a little bit of hot water. They'll take the line out, and that's a good one in fact. Sees them 30 out from their line, maybe even closer, 20, 25. Yeah, about 25 there. So you have a good view of this line out. And as I said, the Dogs are just on top early here, without a doubt. So there's a sub here, and number 1, McDermott, is coming off. And coming on is number 19, which is Matthew Capehorn. So he's now on. And going up, and look at that, Wanneroo once again. They're going to go for the maul straight away, so they do it well. It's a decent maul. Look at this, they're doing really well here. And the Dogs continue to strive forward, and running out there was it with the Lawson. He takes it down, but great maul there, and that takes them to about 10 out. They're close to the line, and they're hitting them hard now, Wanneroo. Nedlands defensive line just under duress.
On the ground first. Chris.
And I believe they're going to go for points. Once again, so they're just looking to get points on the board really early here, and it's Heppy, who's 1 from 2, but this one much more conventional than the others. I'm not going to commentators curse him, as Dave would like to say, but I'll back him from here. So he's just composed himself now. And he's got it. So I was a little bit worried, but he did capitalise. So now it's an 11-point lead to Wanneroo.
Okay, so have a chat with the guys. Discipline at the rock.
And it's looking extremely shaky for Nedlands, who are 20 minutes in, and they have had bugger all of the ball, and they are yet to score. So they need to do something soon, and dropping that absolute sitter there was, I'm not sure who it was, it might have been Yoda, but they've got it back now, Wanneroo, and they've got time and space, but it'll come back for the knock on. And just before Irwin could put his wheels on, he was called back by the referee and Ian Sunderland. But as I said, Nedlands just haven't had their hands on the ball yet and have just been struggling to maintain possession and get it into their half, really. But now's their chance. Thrown at the back there and finds himself with the ball in hand is Lau, who spreads it to the outer side. They're trying something new now is Henderson, who's been very quiet early from his lofty standards. And here's that big number 4 in Booth, bashing his way through. Law again, and here's the sub who's come on late, is Capon.
Second advantage.
And there's our skipper, Naylor. Tries to bullock his way through, unable to do so.
Back here.
And it'll come back.
Over there, please, guys.
But they
Captain. Bryce.
didn't gain much there. So have a listen, Bryce Watkins. So he's just told there, Bryce Watkins, just have a chat with your man.
20 offside.
You heard it, they've given away 2 penalties. So they're going to go for points, so they can get some points on the board, because currently they sit at zilch, do Nedlands. So I think they've got the mentality, any points will do, just get some confidence up. And the man to take the kick is the number 14 and Paul Badham. And that's good. So Nedlands are finally on the board
20.
through Paul Badham.
18, sorry. Both those penalties are against you. Yeah, both of
So
those two.
Wanneroo District is giving
Oh,
that
sorry,
penalty
no,
away, 2 in a row. Offside. And it was Badham that made them pay, so that's exactly what they need now, Nedlands. Just a few points on the board, get some confidence up, because they can compete with this side. First time they met, they went down by just 2 points, and then they won the next one by a whopping 67. So there's a kick, and dropping it again. So that's a couple mistakes in a row now, and finding his way through, and he's just grabbed by the back and ridden into the ground there, the Nedlands player. But you can just see there's a little bit more will from this group, and they've lost it again, but ends up in the hands of Glenn Briggs. But Wanneroo are happier with that one. Offside, I believe, was called.
In front of me here.
It's grand finals all day today. This is the second of 4 coming your way. So there are plenty of nerves out there. This is 3rd grade Division 1 rugby. First versus second doesn't get much bigger than this in terms of 3rd grade rugby.
Play. If you're in, you're in. You're not standing on the edge.
So just under 9 to play. Or should I say just over 9 to play in this second half. Sorry, first half. Been an intriguing one. Saw the Dogs take ascendancy early, and they end up with it there, and another, they fake them all there, I believe. Ends up in the hands of the number 8, the big unit. We don't have an 8 down here, but we will look to find that out for you soon. Have a listen. So we don't have a number 8 for Wanneroo Districts, but they're just going to have a chat here.
So I think it's a dangerous tackle. He hasn't really tried to put him down carefully. It's only a yellow card. You see, 24. Number 4.
This is Stephen Booth.
Okay, so you've lifted him above the horizontal and there's no real attempt to put him down carefully. That's a yellow card.
And so he cops the yellow card, so there'll be 1 down Nedlands, which is exactly what they don't need. So that's Stephen Booth there going off. He picked him up and showed no care to bring him down gently. You heard it. And so now they're 1 down, with not long to go in this first half.
Captain Booth is going to get 10 minutes in the bin there for a tip tackle.
So they take another line out, the 4th of the game. We haven't seen too many yet, which has been good. It's been fairly free-flowing. But it's Booth for Nedlands, who will find himself in the bin for 10 minutes for a reckless tackle.
Stay out, stay out.
I think they've got there, they have. Wanneroo have scored again.
Wanneroo Rugby Club.
I believe it's that man just on his backside there.
Quite few in the parks already.
Great try.
16 points to 3.
They just pushed it over and just forced a try, as they did with that first one. Just spreading it wide through the number 10, Vermark, in the first one.
Carl Lawson to try, so try time there to Carl Lawson. 16 points to 3 over this one.
So it looks as though Carl Lawson, I believe. Carl Lawson, the number 2 for Wanneroo Districts, he's been awarded the try, and so the conversion is to come. He's pretty far out here. About 22, 23. In fact, it'll be about 25 for Mike Happy, who's been insanely lively early. Already with 1 try and 2 out of 3 conversions. This one is the most testing. And he almost got there, did the Nedlands player, but it's no good anyway.
Conversion unsuccessful. The score remains 16 points to 3.
So he's 2 from 4 Happy. That was a difficult one. This wind has just picked up in the last 20 or so minutes here at Success. Just over 5 minutes. They look to take it quickly. This goes up and just fumbling there was, I believe, the number 12 in IRO for Wanneroo. So 16-3, coming to the closing stages of this first half. And finding on the outside is that man. Geez, he's got some pace. It will be hard to stop now, and he is in the end. But he had some pace on him, and
Ball is there. Turnover is good.
the Nedlands just didn't look like they were going to keep up, and the ball's been turned over and thrown out wide. And here's that big 25 with ball in hands. It's
Advantage.
a man we don't have a name for at the moment. We have a up until 24, but no 25 listed here. We'll look to get that changed for you by halftime. It might be Martin Tutt, in fact. If anyone knows, send it through the live stream. So the 5th scrum of the first half.
Fine.
Great scrum by the Dogs there. Just holding them up at Nedlands. Doing a little bit better than what they were in the first few stages. And oh, that was just chopped off there. And finding himself is Happy again. Happy fends off another, throws it back, and they're down for another. Happy, you are insane. What a play by that man, Happy again. And converting there, we'll just get his name if we can, but he reaped the rewards.
And a try time there to Wanneroo. Number 14.
And it's Claudio De Quinto reaping rewards there with another try, so it's 21-3, and this has alarm bells ringing for Nedlands at the moment. A conversion to come, but Happy, gee whiz. What a play by him, just found himself with the ball in hands, and then it looked like he was going to be run out, but passed it back and left it De Quinto, who converted. So the conversion to come from so, as Happy likes to do time with his conversions. As we see here again, he's just weighing up that wind. Making sure it's dug into the ground, and so might just be running out this first half clock. He's got a little bit of help from a teammate here. And it's hit and bounced straight off the post, so Happy, he's 2 from 5.
Conversion there unsuccessful. So the score remains 21 points to 3. Wanneroo over there.
So you add up those conversions, if he's able to get all of them, and it looks quite ugly for Nedlands. It'll turn into a 24-point lead just at half time, and they need to respond and need to respond quickly because grand final silverware is slipping up quickly.
Tackle. Release and roll, please. 8. Out of there.
So we're into the last 60 seconds here of the first half. And what's seen Wanneroo, the favourites for today, really produce a great one, and we'll take a line out in what will be most likely the last of the first half. Just counting down the clock now. Lawson, one of the try scorers so far. And that's fallen out the back and into the hands of a Nedlands player there, and just trying to get something going there is the number 10 in David Thomas. Dummies, runs himself, great leg drive. And now we get into red time and the whistle's blown in. And so you can just see on the faces of the Netherlands player, they're disappointed with this first half. And that won't find touch and bounces off the air of the number 14 and the try scorer in DeQuinto. And that's the first half. Interesting one at that. It saw Wanneroo on top early. They scored the first try through Heppy from a great play from, and then it just kept piling on with Lawson and DeQuinto, and it saw Nedlands in a bit of trouble, but their only sign of fight back was through Paul Badham with a penalty shot, and he converted. So it's 21-3. We'll see you for the second half in what will mean a big one for Nedlands, who will be looking to fight back. We'll see you then. welcome back to Success Sporting for this third grade Division 1 clash between Wanneroo Districts and Nedlands. Entertaining first half, plenty of scoring. Hopefully there's more in the second half. Hopefully more so from Nedlands, who can even this up, and that was a huge hit there between those two. And so Nedlands looking a little bit more fiery. They might have just got a rev up from their coach there in that break. So there's Briggs, who was quiet in the first half. Most of them were. Not many of them had their hands on the ball, and as you can see, there's a little bit more firiness in this one. And that was Tane Manga. He's a late inclusion to the side. Well, for Wanneroo, they had Stephen Kavanagh ruled out, and so this is not doing any favours for Nedlands. Wanneroo happy with that result. On and hasn't found touch, so they'll find themselves, and it looks like they've had a few changes, and there's I believe it's Timoana who's out there. Here's another man who was lively in the first half for Nedlands. It was Carl Lawson. And spreading out wide. Here is that man, Carl Lawson. Puts the arm out and says, I'm coming through here to success there. Dummies, and went himself there was the number 8, who we don't have a name for. It might be Golof Nikora. I have him down as the number 17. If any information on that, send it through to the stream. Going out wide there and finding a hand, the number 11, and taken down before he had it with Leslie. And Nedlands end up with the ball in hand again, and that's been taken through, and they will capitalise on this. And Wanneroo have just absolutely smashed this Nedlands side. It was Lee Irwin just intercepting that one. The number 13 Irwin. Boy, did he make him pay. So it's now a 23-point lead with a conversion to come. So try scorers are Lawson for Wanneroo, as well as that man, Lee Irwin, DeQuinto, and Heppy, who is, I reckon, finding himself in the best on ground category. He's been great today. And he's about 10 out, straight in front. No issues at all there. So sends it out to a 25-point lead here at Success Sporting Complex. And so it's going to be really, 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 really hard work for Nedlands from here. And to think they smashed this Wanneroo side by 67 points last time these two teams met. And no talk at all between the two Wanneroo players. Probably the only bad thing they've done today, just between Yoda and Yoda, the brothers, Josh and Nathan. I think they might have a little bit more chemistry than that. Great scrum by Wanneroo there. Absolutely fantastic. And I think, no, Nedlands still have the ball in their hands. Wide and coming in hard there was that man for Nedlands. If we could just get his name there. It's the number 13. He did really well there. The man that I believe has just come on in his second half. No, in fact, it's Tane Manga, who was in a late inclusion. So it was McDermott there for Nedlands, just asking the question of referee in Sunderland. And so they quickly take that. Does Rory see the line out? So the fifth line out of this match, it's been quite free-flowing thanks to Wanneroo's domination. But Nedlands definitely showing some more heart in this one early on here. And thrown to the back, and that finds it in the hands of the number 8, and the maul is called. So the number 8 we don't have a name for, but I've Nikora lined out here. But this is a great maul by Nedlands. They're just trying to get behind it, and they're every chance here, and they have scored. So they finally get one back. And I believe it's the number 2 there, Chris Naylor, skipper. So it's 28-8 here. A 20-point lead with a conversion to come. Might just decrease that to 18. And find themselves still with a chance, but gee, it's going to be tough. So Naylor shown most of the heart from this Nedlands side today. And with the conversion to come, we'll just get the name of this man taking the conversion. It's the number 9 there, giving him a hand in Lau. Quite grab the name of the man taking the kick. And he's got that. So he's converted well. It's Paul Badham. So decreases the margin to 8. If there any chance of getting back into this one, they need more of that sort of heart and soul. We'll see what Wanneroo can do to respond to that. Oh, big hit there. Balled over was Chris Naylor, the skipper. In fact, Carl Lawson, the try scorer. Swung out the outer side, and he's got some wheels, this big man. It's the 25, but we don't have a name. He's gone through a few and dragged down in the end, disappointingly, but gee whiz, they've got some heart now. They're showing a little bit more passion. And so a little bit going on there afterwards. And so there you go. Not too much in that. I think it was Yoda, in fact, getting a little bit. But it was the skipper talking to him there, and Bryce Watt. Subs going on. So I believe Shane Ovens there, the man just chatting with the ref. He's also come on up at some stage. And going up is that man Shane Ovens and bringing it down. So Nedlands pushing hard here, and there's that 17 who's been lively early. And going through there is number 7. Oh, taken by the legs. Great take there. It was Dominic Keelan who's come back on, I believe. And spreading it to that outer side and going in hard there. Great leg drive. And there's the number 3 in Briggs, who was involved with that earlier try from Nedlands. Here's another big Thomas. Low, I believe it was the number 7 in Yellen. Ends up in the hands of Smith. Told to release now. Does. Oh, and here we go. Here's that big unit in 25 we don't have a name for at the moment. We might look at getting that sorted for you before the end of the game, but shrugging off one, and then another was Lau. No clear release there, so it was the number 16 who I was talking about before, just having a chat with the umpire, the referee. Don't have a name for him either, so there are some missing numbers and names here on the team sheet. So they need the next score, that's for sure, Nedlands. They can't afford to have Wanneroo score at all, really, for the rest of this game.
No hands. Roll.
So they're right at the line now, and they take it quickly, and to no prevail. It was Briggs who was trying to be a little bit sneaky, and into the hands of that 25 again. They're literally meters from the line now. They need this next one. They can't afford to turn this over and have it back in the hands of the Dogs. They're still getting clear releases, which is showing some promise. And here's that number 5, the big unit, and Trevor Thomas. But it's in the hands of the Dogs, who have run away with it again. Oh, ducking in and out, and then taken hard down by that man, Thomas. But nevertheless, the Dogs have won it back again, and here is that man who's been absolutely sterling so far, Mike Heppy. Playing like a man possessed out there.
What's your number? 4. 4 men.
Going up is that number 16, who we don't have a name for, but he's been predominantly most of the line-outs. Taken down hard there is Keelan. They look to spread out to that wider side. This is what they need to do. And they do it well this time, and it's in the hands of the fullback in Gula. In Guiar, I should say. Well, no, and so they're doing well. So they're just running it as much as they can. They're keeping their hands on the ball, which they weren't able to do in that first half.
No, you're not on the ball. Leave it.
It may be a little bit too late, though, because Wanneroo have a strong commanding lead, and they won't look to give it up.
No. Rock. 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 Advantage.
Into the hands of that 25, who's been extremely lively, but he's taken down quite harshly, and the skipper there is there as well in Watkins. Keelan again. Run into a brick wall there, did Briggs.
Captain 16.
Oh, and here we go.
Captain 16.
It's gonna, yeah, he's reaching into his pocket, I believe. And there he goes for the Dogs. It's Shane Ovens. Shane Ovens there, sorry. So it was for a high tackle. He'll find himself in a sin bin for the next 10 minutes. So they're going to take the points here, I believe. In fact, no, they'll play it. So here they go again through that big number 16. The opposite number for Nedlands. They're doing all the best they can do. They've got to spread it, is what they've got to do, because the Dogs are down, and they can definitely work that into their advantage, and that's what they look to do here through the fullback in Gulo. He's almost there. He's literally centimetres from the line now, and I think they're just going to try and push this over, and it's possibly there. No, it's not. Not yet, but they're going to play it, and I think they've got that down. Yep,
Knock on there.
knock on. So Nedlands just doing all they can in their power to
Have a chat with them. Give them a word as well. Tell them what's going on.
So he's been told a few times to have a chat with his men.
Have a word, Bryce. Have a word with them.
And they've just been told, yeah. So he's been told a few times now to have a chat, as Bryce Watkins, and he doesn't seem to do it. And then the referee turned around, Ian Sunderland, and said, "Hey, I want you to have the chat." He's at number 16, extremely lively. Once again, apologies. And if you do know his name, send it through to us. And there's that number 8 for Nedlands in Smith. Number 25 now, finds his hands on the ball. Going back on the inside there was Keelan. And that's an audacious pass up. And going down hard was Thomas.
Ball out off his foot.
Oh, and he's offloaded that one nicely. And man, the number 15, Gula. And once again, just centimetres from the line. They look to play it again, and I think they're through. They've got to be this time. They are. They're finally through, Nedlands. It took them a bit of time, but getting us through there was Tainmunga, the late inclusion into the side. So that brings it back to 16 points with the conversion to come. 11 points. I'll try it again. 11 points with a conversion. So they were thereabouts for about the last 10 minutes. They've come out in this second half and shown a little bit more heart than they did in the first. And so with a conversion to come, this could bring it back to 9 points, and dare I say it, could bring Nedlands back into the game. They were down by 25 points at one stage. This is to bring it back to just 9. With still 15 and a bit left on the clock. So he just composes himself now. And no good, so he needed that, no good. So it's still 11 points with 17 minutes to play. So that was Paul Badham, unable to convert there. Tainmunga with a try. It's a big 16 and 14 minutes, 40 seconds, sorry, left. Wanneroo just getting some instructions from the bench. And that's up and taken under duress by the Netherlands player there. That conversion would have been really handy for Nedlands. It would have reduced it to a 9-point lead, which makes it a try and conversion. And then another field goal. So it would have been handy, but Paul Badham wasn't able to do it. $15 and change left. Scrum number 6 has formed. You feel as though any score from Wanneroo will do it.
the Community Grade Division 1 Grand Final. Perth Irish
No
in
hands,
their first
no
ever
hands.
Grand Final are taking on Associates.
Oh, and he's lost that there. Yep. And the ref has seen it. He thought he was blindsided, but no, he did see it. So it's a knock on. And the Dogs just losing the domination here. The dominating play style in the first half hasn't quite come to fruition in this second half. So scrum will form the 7th of the game. Been lucky not to see too many.
Fine. Set. That's it. Rough.
So Nedlands come out with it, and they spread it to this commentary side, and breaking back onto the inside there was the number 11 who's been quiet in Leslie. In fact, no, it's Henderson. Called him a star in the pre-game. He hasn't quite delivered that star performance yet, but watch for him in these last 14 minutes. So that's spread out wide, and the bounce, oh, it goes over the head and taken really by the Nedlands player. Made sure not to knock it on, and it's still in their hands, and breaking out to the outer side, coming back in the inside was the number 14 in Paul Badham. 2 for 3 conversions for him, and there's that man again. So they're showing a lot more heart there in Keelan. That was a big hit, and he's just passed it back on the inside. Just a sneaky little one there from Smith. Dummies goes himself there, and diving into the turf there was Lau.
Back here for the penalty. 8 offside.
So through the dummy to Gula. Broke back onto the inside and lost his footing. So it'll come back. And they're well and truly still in this, Nedlands. .11 points down. We'll take 2 tries. Field goal
Over on field 2.
won't do it.
Associates taking an early lead, 5-0 over Perth Irish.
Okay, make it tough. Just hold, please.
Another line out will come to fruition here. Great take there by number 16. Just with the one glove, just stuck it out. Great maul. Looks as though Wanneroo just push it back a little bit more, but coming out with it was Nedlands, and this is promising. Gula spreads it, runs really wide, into the hands of the number 11. It's Henderson. I called it early. He's a star, this man. He can perform, and now he's got a try for him, and they are back.
Henderson from Nedlands.
Keith Henderson has scored, and they are just 6 points behind now. With a conversion to come, this is huge. This is huge. .11 minutes left now in this second half. This to bring it back to 4 points. How big's this? I called it early in the program. I said Keith Henderson, he's a star. Watch for him to perform today, and he didn't in the first half. We did not see him, and now he's shown up and delivered. Possible. He's got him back in there, that's for sure. Again, a minute try, I guess you could call it. So Badham, he's 2 from 3. This is a big conversion, and he has just absolutely muffed that. And so he's 2 from 4 now, and that was not good. So it'll take another try in the last 10 minutes here, and Wanneroo have just switched off. I'm not sure what's happened, but They've just absolutely switched off and don't look like turning back on, but they will need to if they want to win this one.
That's good. Over.
Have their hands on the ball and they just need to maintain that for the next 10 minutes, and they need to score really. They can't just stop now. They need to score because Nedlands are pushing as hard as ever. And the number 8, I believe it's Nikora. He's in the 17 on my sheet, but I believe he's wearing the number 8 Guernsey.
Incorrect adding up by the commentator. 28-20 Wanneroo over Nedlands.
Keep coming back.
So the Irish getting up 7 points to 5 over Associates at the moment. 7 points to 5, but Irish over Associates.
So, if you've just joined us, that is the correct score there. We've just had an updated scoreboard. It is 28-20, Wanneroo over Nedlands with just 8 minutes to go in this one. A lot riding on it, so it'll take a try, a conversion, and a field goal. And that's a pretty big ask, if you ask me. But Wanneroo are on the back foot, that's for sure. And I think they're just realising that now and finding a little bit harder for this one. And it is trying in there. It's Division 1 third grade rugby. Beautiful day. Sun's out. Not long left in this one now. Wanneroo just need to keep their hands on the ball, and they have done so well. Oh, and the dummy goes back, dummies himself again there, the number 10, and he's done seriously well there as Vermark, and he did that early on. It set up the first try of the game, and here's that big number 2 who's taken down by, I believe it was Briggs for Nedlands. So they just pick and roll at the moment. Once again, they go with that play. Just gaining as much meterage as they can, and now they look wide. Didn't dummy that time, did the number 10, and finds it in the hands of 13, but it's turned over, and it looks as though Nedlands are going to run away with another try here, and he's down just 30 centimetres within the try line, and so it's Batum. Batum has scored a try. He's 2 from 4 in the conversion rate, and he's set to go again. That's why he knew exactly where he was going, just right underneath the post there. He's going to go quick because there's only 6 minutes left in this one, and boy, oh boy, Nedlands were 25 down at one stage. 25 down, and they have just come out of nowhere in this second half. And this is looking extremely shaky for Wanneroo. Silverware is on the line. He absolutely muffed the last kick. No dramas at all there. He's 3 from 5. 1 point game. Can you believe it? 28-27. Just over 5 minutes to go in this second half. So Wanneroo have the ball in hand, and they'll kick it to Nedlands, who have chance at sealing this one now, as that scoreboard just updates there. Yep, so 1 point down. Just a tick under 5 to go, and finding his hands on the ball once again is that number 16, and I think he's been a big part of this resurgence from Nedlands. The number 20 there has come on from Nedlands as well, in Elliot Hill. One of 2 Hills out there, as well as Zach in the 22. I believe it's still on the bench, and that kick goes wide, and that's just going to about find us, but stays in, and that bounce, gee, wasn't it good? And now it's in the hands of the number 11 there, and it's Henderson, but it's knocked on. So that was probably Heppy's first mistake of the day. He's been so good today with a try and 3 from 6 conversions. Not a great conversion rate, but he's just been lively, setting up tries as well. He set up that one to Quinto with one of the best passes I've ever seen. So a tick under 4 to go in this second half, a grand final here at Success, 3rd grade Division 1. The game will ride on this. The big heavies are in there. They're all looking for a piece. There's a bit going on, and so it'll play on, and they spread it to the outside, and he's just lost the handle on there. Has the try scorer Tane Munga, but it's coming back. Just under 3 to go. Doesn't get much bigger than this now in 3rd grade division rugby. Last time these 2 teams met, it was Nedlands with a 67-point win. But the time before that, it was Wanneroo by just 2 points. We've seen a great affair today, and expect this one to go down to the wire if it's not already. Out it to the outer side. Dummies goes himself there, I believe. It's Nikora, the 17. There's some new numbers out there, and passing and into that skipper, Naylor, who's pushing his side as hard as he can. Just over 2 minutes left now in this one. 2 minutes left in these 2 teams' seasons. Here is Guler. He's found a way through. He's dished it off, and he's found another man, and I think they're going to win. They've come back from 25 points down, and that's Batum. Batum again. This has come out of nowhere. And I think Batum has just been about best on field. He's dragged them back into this one, along with guys like Naylor, the skipper, Briggs. Thomas was involved. Keelan, all those boys are getting involved in Henderson, another one who's scored a try in this second half, so I can't believe it. It looked as though Wanneroo were just all over him in that first half. In fact, they were all over him. They got out to a 25-point lead, and they haven't scored since. It's been all Nedlands footy in this second half. And with just over 60 seconds left of play, with a conversion to come, this is looking very, very meek for Wanneroo, who have just about choked on this. It's a difficult shot, that's for sure. But with this kick, it'll see a 6-point margin. Batum. He's 3 from 5. 2 tries for him today. He's been, in my books, best on field. And he's got it. He has got it. And he increases it out to 6 points with 15 seconds left in this one. Boy, oh boy. The controversy here at Success Sporting Complex. It's been through the roof. They've come from 25 points down. they just weren't switched on in that first half. But this second half, it's just gone the complete opposite way. Wanneroo switched off, and Nedlands have switched on. I hope you're enjoying it wherever you're watching, because Nedlands have done the impossible here in a beautiful sunny day. Yep, they've done it. So they've come from 25 points down. What a story that was. I could not believe it. It looked as though Nedlands were just about gone at halftime. Their heads were down, and they've come from, as I said, 25 points down. It was 28-3. They weren't scoring at all. They couldn't do anything in that first half. And then in the second half, it just completely switched. And the districts, Wanneroo, just switched off, and they did not score in that second half. It was all Nedlands footy. It was dominated in that second half, in their half of footy, in their half of the field. Sorry, and I can't believe what I've witnessed today. It was really Badham who stepped up, along with Tame Munga and Henderson. It was Naylor with the first try, the skipper. Then it went to Munga. It was a late inclusion, as well as Henderson, who I called early. I knew he would get involved in it at some point, and he did. But it was Badham. He converted 2 times in a row and then missed the next 2, and then had a try of his own, converted off that, and then another try and converted off that. So really, best of field goes to Paul Badham, the number 14. And it sees Nedland winning the Division 1 third grade premiership in what was a great clash, and I think probably the best all season, and they saved the best till last, didn't they? We'll take you over to the presentation now.
Rugby, third grade Division 1. A cracker of a final. Both teams played, gave it their all. Great weather conditions. So can we please put our hands together for both teams, ladies and gentlemen. If I can please call Bryce Watkins, captain of Wanneroo, to please come up.
First of all, obviously, congratulations to Neddies. You guys really brought it in that second half. Congrats again. Obviously, another close one between us. Like always. So our boys, heads up, mate. Really pushed them. Credit to them, but hey, let's come back again next season. To our supporters, thank you again for coming out, week in, week out. Coach, management, thank you very much. Special mention to Sean. Thank you for being there and strapping all these old boys and keeping us together for the season. Yeah, thanks a lot, and thanks to Success for putting on a great day again. Cheers.
And a bit of a cliche, but we wouldn't have a game without referees, and so thank you to all the referees, Ian Sunderland, and the assistant referees, Tyler Miller and Matty Putz. Ian, if you can come up and collect your medal, please. I'd like to call up the Nedlands captain, winning captain, Chris Naylor, please, to give a few words.
Yeah, firstly, big shout out to Wanneroo. You boys had a wicked season. We had our marks on you, after that first game in the season. Minor premiers, you've done bloody well. Neddies boys, never say die. Balls out that second half, wicked effort. Couldn't be prouder of yous. To everyone behind the scenes, Mark Badham, Steve jumped in there for a bit. All our sponsors and supporters, get this club going. Wicked effort. Neddies boys, we'll have a few shandies tonight. Light on the lemonade. Looking forward to it. Cheers.
Nedlands boys, if we please come up and collect your medals, please. Can we applause to both teams, especially Nedlands, congratulations, 2019 third grade Division 1 premiers.